Wrong lane. You should be over here. Last time it didn't stop at the stop sign. And it's doing the same thing. Nice to see 55 and it's doing 55. Usually as soon as I say that, it drops down at perfect timing. Thank you, Tesla. Does it show on the screen? Oh, it did it the last second. Okay. Not sure what lane it wanted to be in there. Welcome back to another video. When we last saw each other, the car had gotten here at 69%. I am now sitting at 57%. My fault, because I didn't factor in that I would have to go get something to eat last night. So that added 12 miles to the trip-ish, if I remember correctly. And it probably ate up 3 to 4% of the battery. And then Sentry Mode ate up the rest. So yeah, I'm a lot lower than I initially expected. And I need to put my route back in, but no big deal. I'm definitely not going to be able to get home on this charge though. So I'll stop somewhere and just do another 5-10 minute top up. Then I'll be okay for the rest of the trip. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. All right, so I've got a game plan today. I am here. I've got to go to the east a little bit and then all the way back west to Grand Rapids. I've decided, well, I could do, if the map would cooperate, I could do a supercharger here, but I'd be at like 35% and it would be a 10-minute stop. Or I can push it all the way to Lansing and get there at 14% and it'd still be a 10-minute stop. It would be a more efficient charging session. And then I could just bounce home. This second dot here before I get home is a UPS store, but there's a supercharger right there too. So I'm going to stop at 2 superchargers today. It's free supercharging for me right now until the end of the month. And I'd have to pay for electricity at home. So I'll supercharge the car and then go home. It's fine. But let's get this day started. Last time we went straight. Let's see if we can go this way. Nope, gotta go straight. It's okay. First facility is 7 minutes, 4.3 miles away. I should get there at 55%. I started out at 57%. Wrong lane. You should be over here. FSD chose the wrong lane in a construction zone. Construction zone ends. Speed limit is now 55. There's no signs saying that it's 55. So the car won't do 55. But we're still cruising along at the 47. Oh, it's speeding up on its own. That's good. So there's the orange end construction sign coming up. I still don't see a speed limit sign, so the car's still going to think it's 45. So I'm going to push it up to 55 and see what the car does. I stopped at 55. It kept going to 58 on its own. 55%. This is one of the easier facilities for me to do. I shouldn't be in there very long, which is kind of nice. Next facility is 39 minutes, 29 miles away. It says I'll get there at 46%. I don't expect to lose a percent while I'm in there, so I believe that number is correct. I'll see you guys in a sec. All done in there. Short visit, just like I expected. Still at 55%. It says I'll get there at 46%. 39 minutes, 29 miles. Everything is the same as I said before I went in. Let's go. Pushing on it. Pushing again. There we go. Last time it didn't stop at the stop sign. And it's doing the same thing. All right. FSD was going to ignore a stop sign. I don't know if that stop sign is not mapped, but it did. I believe it showed up on the visualization, so I know the car saw it. Speaking of things it's done before, this is a 2-lane road. This lane eventually turns into turning right only. The car tends to stay in this lane until the last second, then it puts on the blinker and dives out of it. This happens twice, so we'll see if that behavior has gotten any better. I have gotten an upgrade since the last round, but since that didn't stop at the stop sign, I'm assuming it's not going to get out of this lane until the last second. It is 55 on this road. We are doing 47. Up we go. It got out early. Nice. Oh, I love to see that. Oh, we're taking a different route. Okay, then. Normally we go straight down there, but that's okay. We'll see what happens here. I don't think I've been this way before. Nice to see 55 and it's doing 55. Usually as soon as I say that, it drops down. Perfect timing. Thank you, Tesla. So I've noticed the car has not been struggling at the stop signs that also have a blinking red light, like the one coming up. And I haven't paid attention to the visualizations on the screen. But what I used to see is it would flash between green and red. When it was off, it was green. When it was on, it was red. I think that was what was confusing the car. And now the visualization is red off, red off. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but maybe. I think this looks familiar now. Back on track of where I usually am. And for some reason, it thinks it's 25 here. It started out at 55 just fine. Now it's going 25. So I have to step on the accelerator pedal. It's 5.5 miles before my next turn. Let's hope that it doesn't think it's 25 that entire way. Back to 55. Sweet. So it was less than 2 miles where I had to do that. I'm kind of glad because the car's better at regen than I am. I couldn't keep my speed consistent through all the hills and whatnot. But the car can, even though it constantly slows down. It's still better at it. So speaking of last times, it blew through this stop sign last time. And it's blowing through it again. No chainsaws on that one. Well, they got me here. That was 29 miles, took 36 minutes. It's about what was predicted. I'm here at 46%, which I believe is also what it was. I think it was 45%. And I've had an idea as I was driving that I want to push it home without charging. And I think I can do it. So I'm going to edit the trip and get rid of that. Hit done. I'm just going to try to send me to the Schwartz Creek Supercharger. Get me there at 33%, wants me to stay for 10 minutes. I'm going to remove all charging stops. And it says I'll get home at negative 9%. Now I have a bailout option if it happens to not work. But at this last facility, instead of going south and then west, I can just go straight west. It's all back roads. It's 55 miles an hour. It's less distance. It's slower. It shouldn't use as much energy. When I'm there, I will check to see what the prediction for getting home is. Well, actually to this UPS store because there's a supercharger there. So I'll see what the prediction is there because it's only negative 4% right now. And I'm pretty sure This is going to save me 10 to 12% of battery. It takes a little bit longer to drive that direction, to drive straight across instead of going south, but it's more efficient because it's slower and has less distance. So we're going to try that, see what happens. So far since yesterday morning, I've gone 115 miles. I've used 28 kilowatt hours. The average has been 4 miles per kilowatt hour. That's great. See if we can keep that up. This leg was 29 miles, 38 minutes, and 228 watt hours per mile, or 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. This is great. Let's keep that up. Next facility is 49 minutes, 46 miles away. It says I'll get there at 28%. See you when I'm done with this one. I think I was in there for like 45 minutes. These visits are kind of nice today. I'm sitting at 47%, 50 minutes, 46 miles. I will be at the next place at 29%. I believe it said 28% the last when I left, when I went inside. So let's keep going. Put it in drive and see if it'll get me out of here. And tap on the accelerator. So it did this last time too, where it thinks it can get out over here. It can't. But I'll let it do it. Maybe I'll get to the place at 28% instead of 29. No big deal. Yeah. Well, it tried. You gotta see if it can figure it out. I mean, it's got to turn all the way around. I don't think that's enough space for a U-turn. No, it tried. Let's try again. So I'll put a card up here if you guys want to watch this car fail the exact same way last time. It's a parking lot. It's not meant to handle parking lots, but it's always fun to see it. Now, will it stop at this stop sign? Does it show on the screen? Oh, it did it the last second. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh, brake tapper, you're killing me today. So I think that last stop sign, where the first one that we went through, that I said it didn't stop at last time, was slightly angled. That could be why it didn't pick it up until the last second. But the road was also curving, so I'm sure the stop sign was installed correctly. It's just the car didn't pick it up because it was not exactly an octagon. It's more ovally shaped. Maybe that's what it is. Always thoughts and conjecture. No proof whatsoever. You can definitely tell it's getting cooler. There's not nearly as many bugs splattered across my windshield as there usually are at this point in the trip. I'd say that's a good thing. I'd say that was 95% flawless. The only complaint I have was the jerkiness of the wheel. Other than that, that was a great roundabout. 75 is the speed limit. Are we going to enter the highway at a ridiculously slow speed? Yes, we did at 63. This car was right behind me on the entrance ramp. Even he thought it was ridiculous how slow I was going. Not sure what lane it wanted to be in there. Makes a decision. Don't know why we're slowing down here. Oh, said it's max to 55 again. Speed limit is still 70. I'm not in a construction zone. So, yeah. $47 and a 75 when we cleared the highway. And it's a stop. We can go. Perfect. Well, those trucks are like parked perfectly. I'm impressed. Which means that Tesla could slot right in. Love it. All right. Car claimed we were going to get here at 29%. We're actually here at 31. That's a good way to save some energy. That trip was 47 miles, took 49 minutes at 251 watt hours per mile. Even being on the highway, we were doing 4 miles per kilowatt hour. That's impressive. Since yesterday morning, we drove 162 miles, 40 kilowatt hours, 247 watt hours per mile. So that the average is 247. The last drive was 251. And then I'll come back and do the 31-minute, 22-mile drive, end up at the next place at 24%. And then we'll see if I can make it home without hitting the charger. All right, see you guys in a sec. All right, I'm all done in there. I'm sitting at 30%. I lost 1%. Not a big deal. I decided that it's time to get something to eat since I haven't eaten all day. So I'll get to a food place in 7 minutes at 29%. We'll go from there. See if this car can get me out of this parking lot. I'll wait till the buggy walks or crosses by. I don't know why I got over in this lane. 0.3 miles. Food is on the left side of the street. There's a gap behind this car. There's a truck that's hanging back. We can get over if it does it. 0.2 miles now. That truck's coming up pretty fast. There's a semi coming up. There's where I have to go. What are we gonna do? Oh, you're just gonna end me in the street, eh? I'll do it. We have made it at 23%. Yeah, we can park over here. That's fine. I usually park one more over, but that looks like a good spot. Boop. All right, let's edit this to get out, take out the facility we already are at. Hit done. Let it recalculate. So using this route, it says I'll get to the UPS store at 1%. So let's see what it says when I use this route. So now it says I'll get there at 6%. And that's exactly what I thought would happen. So it was only a 5% difference. But still, 5% is 5%. There's another route there. It says I'll get there at 5%. So I'm okay with this. This facility is usually pretty short. So I'll bang that out real quick and I'll be right back. Super quick. Everything's packaged up, ready to go. Still says I'll get there at 6%. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. See if this thing can get me out of here. Little nudge to get it going. Oh, where are you going, buddy? Any of these will do. That works. Yes, going right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. But yeah, we could have come out of any of these and would have been fine. I'm so glad that I don't have to stop and charge. I mean, I will, but I don't have to make it back to at least my city, you know? I can make it to the next charger on 6%. As efficient as the car's been running, and all of this is going to be back roads, no speed limit's 55. I don't think I'll have a problem whatsoever. Go now. Go now. Excellent. Good job. Oh, but then we chickened out. Why did we chicken out? Okay, how about now? Yeah, that was quite the wait. I don't know why we chickened out there. Oh, it's 60 degrees outside now. It's toasty. You know I live in Michigan when 60 degrees is toasty. So through traffic, merge left. That's why I stepped on the accelerator to get us going a little faster. Now it's 35. Car knows that. Is it going to slow down? It is not. It is slowly. I'm going to take her out, slow down, then put her back. Choosing 34 isn't the best option. Oh, we're turning. No big deal. Oh, thankfully I did what I did, because hello, police officer. You gonna do it? You are gonna do it. Not afraid of that one, but you were afraid of the other one. Okay. Nope. Someone behind me, I couldn't let it do that, but it was hitting the brakes at a blinking yellow light. Not appropriate. It's funny that they fixed the blinking red lights, but the blinking yellow lights are still an issue. I guess what's the letter of the law? Are you supposed to slow down at every blinking yellow light out of abundance of caution? Or can you just have heightened senses, be super aware, and not have to worry about it? Yeah. Just found an even better way, so now I'm up to 7% arrival time. That's fine. The longer route that's faster to drive would have been an hour and 6 minutes. And this way is an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm adding 9 minutes to the trip, but I'm saving myself like 8% of the battery. It's fantastic. The world's shortest 45-mile-an-hour zone, because now it's 35. Cracks me up. 38 and a 45. I'm okay with it doing exactly the speed limit. I'm not okay with it doing under the speed limit. There's no one behind me. I'm not going to step on it yet, but 55 is coming up here. And I will step on it then. It says 55, sped up to 40, 41, 42. It's taking its sweet time. Someone just pulled out behind me. Off we go. It's 59 degrees outside. I'm sure the car would want to precondition the battery just a little bit before I get to the charger for the optimal charging experience. I am 30 minutes away. I think at 20 minutes, I will put in the charger as a destination and see what happens. If the car wants to precondition, I would hope that it would prioritize getting me to the destination over preconditioning the battery. Like, it's not going to drain my battery preconditioning it and then not leave me enough to get where I'm going, right? That's my concern, I guess. So I'm willing to test it out and see what happens. So a message popped up saying I'm almost too far from known chargers, which is funny. It says I'll get there at 4%. Still to the UPS store because I want to go there first. At 4% now. I am 2 minutes late, I suppose. Oh, it rerouted me. That's why. Back up to the 5%. This isn't the way I was going to go originally anyways, but, we're turning now. So far, it hasn't preconditioned the battery. And that's a good thing, because I don't think I'll make it if the car wants to precondition. Preconditioning. I don't know when that came up, but it is preconditioning. So it's got to be confident that what it's doing for preconditioning is still going to let me arrive with enough charge. It's going to leave enough charge in the battery to let me get there. It says 5%, so it's got to be fine. So now I'm at 4% arrival time, or state of charge, which is in 1 minute and 0.3 miles. 0.2 miles, it switched to 5%. Let's see. So since yesterday morning, I've driven 243 miles. I used 58 kilowatt hours. I was just driving. I had some, I don't want to call it phantom drain, but I did have some drain with Sentry mode every time I got in and out. So I was at 98% when I went to bed the night before last. And I got here at 5%. That's not too shabby, to tell you the truth. An average of 239 watt hours per mile. That's better than 4 miles. I'll give you the exact number. So in case anyone didn't know, if you do 1,000 divided by the watt hours, you'll get the miles per kilowatt hours, which is 4.18. 4.18 miles per kilowatt hour is pretty darn good, considering that was a mix of highway and city and back roads at 55 and whatnot. I think we did a great job. Anyway, I'm going to charge up here to about 80% and then I'll go home. It says it'll be a 35-minute charge. That's completely fine with me. Other than the car doing some funky braking and not wanting to stop at some stop signs, I think it did pretty darn good. So if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, just leave them down in the comment section below. Subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.